Chiefs Kingdom ACU crew, we're back with another live podcast for that ass. Steve, it's Saturday night tailgate.
It's a Saturday night tailgate, but there's not a tailgate. It's a bye week. It's a Saturday night hangout, Mike.
But we should
What's
still
going
do
on,
this.
everybody? What's going on, everybody? You want to? Oh, okay. We'll get the bus up there.
Let's get it.
Get the bus rolling. Good to see everybody here Saturday night. Hope you guys are doing well. Mike, how's it been going, my brother?
Get on the bus. Nothing. We went to a Chinese buffet today, Steven. Celebrating some birthdays.
Yeah, my birthday's coming up.
Steve's birthday's coming up on February the 6th.
What is today?
The 3rd.
Oh, dang.
So it'll be Tuesday.
Weird. I didn't realize it was that close.
Steve's going to be 57.
58. Get it right.
He'll be 58 years old on Tuesday.
For real, though. I'm pushing 40, bro. Like, I'm starting to feel that.
You're starting to feel it.
It's almost time.
You're feeling it down in your plums.
Feeling it down in my plums, son. Yeah, man. So, Mike, Bleacher Report. Got a little notification today while we were eating, and it said, looks like Jerick McKinnon will be likely to play in Super Bowl 58. What is that about?
Right. I seen where it was reported by a couple analysts. It was on Chiefs Wire. They said his 21-day practice window is open. But that doesn't mean he's going to play. Do you think that maybe this is some gamesmanship by the Chiefs, and they're saying, look, we'll let you think he can be ready, and now you're going to have to – that's another thing you have to game plan for, right?
I mean, potentially. Teams do that all the time. But I don't know. I didn't read too much into it. I just saw that one article, and they're saying that he's likely to play, which is crazy considering they're just now opening up his practice window. He's been out for a long time. We didn't even think he would be back for this season at all.
No, I didn't think he would be back. I personally don't think he plays.
It would be nice to have a healthy Jerick McKinnon out there helping with the pass block and things like that. But, I mean, I'm not like – I can't. Look at that face. Yeah, it'd be nice to have him back. But, yeah, I'm with you, man. I don't know if it's necessarily going to happen. But I mean, if there's a chance, that's only a good thing for the Chiefs, right?
If there's a will, there's a way. Ron, our boy Ron with the one gifted. Appreciate Ron. Ron is here every day. He's being the man as always. He's gifted. He's growing. The ACU crew, Ron. We appreciate that so much. Then we got the real Cato with a 2-bomb. Says, happy birthday, Steve. Man. Wait till you hit 45. Yeah.
I'm going to be 39 on Tuesday, I guess. So, I mean, I got one more year before I hit the big 4-0. So, I mean, I've been telling everybody I was 39 for like the last 8 months. So, I just realized that I wasn't. So, I mean, it's kind of not going to change a lot for me.
I hit 40. I hit 40 this year. So, I'll be 41 in May. But I didn't really feel like a big jump between 39 to 40 and like the way I feel. Not. I felt the worst when I jumped from 29 to 30. It seemed like I had instant back pain as soon as I hit the age of 30.
Oh, I had back pain way before that. So
well, there you go.
It's all downhill from here, Mike.
It's all down. It's just all downhill in life.
I appreciate the 2 Cato, and thanks for the gifted membership, Ron. And
for sure.
If you got that membership, make sure to thank Ron in the chat. Yeah, let us know what you guys think in the chat. You think Jerick McKinnon might actually play, or do you think this is just the Chiefs throwing it out there?
I think it's a little gamesmanship.
It could be a little gamesmanship. Could be. I mean, they're already starting their stuff, right? I mean, they're talking about all the Chiefs do is hold, and this and that. I find it funny that I actually saw a tweet from an ex-Andy Reid player, and I can't think of who it was right now, but he actually said that Andy came down harder on them for giving other teams bulletin board material during the week than he did on missed assignments during the game.
Wow.
And they used an example. They asked Travis Kelce about the 49ers defense, and he said it's the best defense they're going to play this season. And then they showed Nick Bosa, and they're like, here's an example of a team not coached by Andy Reid. And it was, they hold a lot. So, I mean, like, I think Andy does make it a point, don't go out there. Remember, there was a thing with Justin Reid when he first got to the team, and then all of a sudden that stopped. Do you remember that with the Bengals game?
Yes. That was, well, especially if you wasn't going to back it up. Like, my God, they
Right.
come out there and just kind of quit. People are asking about some injury report stuff. I'll go ahead and read some notes about the Chiefs' injuries this week so far. But first, I'll start with the 49ers. Kittle has not practiced all week with a toe injury. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But he's probably going to play. There's no way he's not. Eric Armstead also had a full practice on Wednesday, but he is nursing a knee and a foot. He did not practice Thursday or Friday. Oren Burks, linebacker, Ambry Thomas, corner, Trent Williams, all were limited practices on Friday. Other than that, the Chiefs, here's some notes about the Chiefs. The Chiefs have 3 players that are officially listed questionable for the game. Tooney with pectoral, wide receiver Sky Moore, he's still technically IR with a knee. And then also Prince Tega Winogo, tackle, IR with a quad. Charles Omenihu is out, torn ACL, which we all knew that. Chris Jones, quad, and Pacheco with his toe. They participated in 2 limited practices this week and are expected to be good to go for the game. Kadarius Toney, for personal issues, was on the injury report. He is now completely off the injury report. Offensive coordinator Matt Nagy on Toney's status. He says, quote, I thought he looked good. For us, it's day-to-day for him and where he's at. It's kind of an interesting week just because you have to do this extra week. You have to mentally keep pace for everybody, but also physically try to make sure you don't lose your conditioning. So that's basically all he said. Well, Willie Gay, linebacker with a neck, L'Jarius Sneed with a calf, both were upgraded to full participants yesterday, and on Friday, they were good to go. So yesterday, I keep thinking the day's Friday. Thursday, they were upgraded to full. Friday, they remained good all day. I think both of them, obviously, Sneed's going to play, but I think Willie's going to play too. And that's basically it. That's where we're at with all the news. Like, that is all the injury news we have. That's the whole outlook for the week. And now we got the McKinnon thing through on us tonight. And honestly, I still don't think the McKinnon thing is going to pan out.
Maybe not, but it's a nice thought, right? I mean, if he can get back, then cool. Because I think Jerick McKinnon's a smart veteran that even though he's been out for a little while, he's still going to be useful in a game like the Super Bowl.
He's a nice little red zone target and an option.
Right. Not to mention just his blocking ability and just, he uses his head well, like he's smart. I don't know. I think it could only be a good thing if he could get back. Got a 5 bomb from Cobra Kai. Ty, what's up, my man? Hope you're doing good. He says, sorry, been running like crazy, but happy early birthday, Steve. Appreciate you, Ty. Yeah, man, it's been busy with us too. We just try to make time to get on here and do this, but appreciate you.
Kai dropped another 2, and he said, sorry for the typos. The first thing is supposed to say McKinnon is a beast, but it corrected it to making Nuns a beast.
Yeah, I was kind of trying to figure that out, but I couldn't. I wasn't smart enough, Mike. I wasn't like sharp enough in my old age here. Almost hitting 40.
Wasn't figuring that one out, huh?
I couldn't piece it together.
Look, he's right.
Appreciate you, Ty.
Cobra Kai Ty, with all his infinite wisdom, is correct. McKinnon is a beast. Do you think this is McKinnon's last year? Or do you think if he don't get back for the Super Bowl, you think he'll try to go one more?
Man, I really think that he'll be back.
I think the Chiefs will have him back for another 1 year?
I think if they can get him for the right price. I mean, it's not like he's going to garner a lot of money from anywhere else. I feel like his best chance at being a good, effective football player is on the Kansas City Chiefs in this system. And I mean, at his age, with his injuries and things like that, I think it'd be smart for him to take a small deal with the Chiefs and maybe try to end his career here just on a little 1-year deals or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm kind of under the assumption I think this may be his last year, especially with him coming off this surgery. It depends on how that actually works out.
It could be. They didn't really utilize Jerick McKinnon this season the way they did last season.
Right.
Even when he was healthy.
Yeah. It wasn't what we were used to seeing. Last year we seen him go through that like historic stretch of
it was
touchdowns
crazy.
and stuff, and this year not so much. Mike, what's up, Mike? He says, who is our third tackle? Our third tackle presumably is got to be what? Lucas Niang?
Wanye.
Well, yeah, you got Wanye. So I'd say Wanye and Lucas is your two.
Wanye had been injured, or no, he was coming off of a concussion protocol. I'm assuming he's good.
He should be good. Donovan Smith, he should be fine too. So
I know you just went through the injury report and everything, but I didn't catch what you said about Joe Tooney. What's the update on Joe Tooney, like the latest?
He's
Still
just
questionable.
no practice, nothing. They don't know. A lot of people are thinking Joe Tooney's not going to play. They're just under the assumption he's not going to get back in time.
Would love to have Joe Tooney playing, but I'm not like hurt by Allegretti playing.
Well, look,
not after what I seen last week.
Right. And
he was
this
a
leads
beast.
us to kind of what we talked about on the last one. And we can touch on it just a little bit today because, I mean, again, we're just talking Chiefs football no matter what it is. But Brett Veach restructured Joe Tooney this past offseason to free up some money, correct?
Right. Yeah.
And the way he set it up, he put Tooney's official out, like the way he could get out of the contract at the end of this year. So do you think with Tooney maybe getting a little older, garnering so much money, and Allegretti playing so well, if Tooney can't go again and Allegretti comes in and performs again at a super high level, do you consider signing Allegretti in the offseason a little long term and let him maybe do that little position and maybe say goodbye to Joe Tooney? Is that something that the Chiefs may be looking at, or do you think they'll go ahead and keep Tooney next year?
Well, I know there's a lot of dead money, but I think you looked at this yesterday, and the Chiefs would still be a net positive of $7 million.
Yeah,
right?
somewhere around $7 million positive.
Joe Tooney, what's Joe Tooney? Probably 30, 31?
He's 31.
Somewhere in that.
So he'll be 32.
Okay, I think
season,
Allegretti, I just looked it up. Allegretti's 27 years old. So, I mean, he's got, some youth. I think that he played very, very well, man. I mean, if he could play the way he did last week consistently, I don't see much of a drop off there. Even though Joe Tooney's potentially the best left guard in the entire NFL, Allegretti didn't seem like much of a drop off there, man. They were running behind him and everything.
We know he's a drop off. Like, we know, that he's not what Joe Tooney is. Like, don't get that twisted. But yeah, I know what you're saying. Like, within our system and everything, I do believe Allegretti could be very serviceable, if not like very, very serviceable, like top notch. I would prefer him over Kennard at the moment. Obviously, I prefer him over Mike Caliendo at the moment, but Mike Caliendo also is on a contract year. And I actually think they'll try to get both of them back at a good price. They may say goodbye to Tooney. They might just do that because, like we've said this before, you can kind of draft and find serviceable offensive linemen, especially guards. And that was the whole thing about Trey Smith. If Trey Smith demands a lot of money, when it's his time, we may have to say goodbye to him as well because we got a lot of stuff going off around him. Like in that same exact draft, you got to pay Creed, you got to pay Nick Bolton. And both of those, I think, have to be top priority before, it's got to be a top priority over Trey Smith. And I love Trey Smith, but I think both of those become top priority over him if you had to break it down.
Absolutely. Well, you mentioned it, man. Allegretti, Caliendo, you got Darian Kennard that they kept around on the practice squad. Obviously, he was drafted to be a tackle. He was a tackle in college, but they were, assuming during the draft process that teams were going to kick him inside the guard. And he plays very Trey Smith-esque. If you watched his college tape, he plays rough. He likes to finish his blocks. He's got some attitude. He's a very good right tackle in college, but of course we haven't seen that translate to the NFL. We actually had him on our show. He came on live and he talked about how that jump from college to the NFL was a lot bigger than he thought it was. It was a big learning curve for him. Brett Veach also addressed that situation in the offseason and talked about how he thought that Darian Kennard was a very good offensive lineman, but he's a very good run blocker. He had to work on some pass pro because, he was mainly a run blocker in college. So, I mean, you have to think, man, if they kept him around the practice squad, they might be looking at getting him inside at the guard as well. And like you said, with Allegretti, Caliendo, and the way it's easier to draft like a guard than a lot of positions, Trey Smith could be the cap casualty, just depending on what he's going to garner. I mean, Trey Smith's a beast, bro. Yeah. Like you can't understate what that man's done for this team. But
you don't want to break up the nucleus that you have right there with Joe Tooney and Creed and even Trey Smith to a certain degree. But you've also got to be smart too. Look, we don't have the most amount of money, and you're basically, we've been saying it. You were in a rebuild 2 years ago. You were in a rebuild this year, and I think the rebuild gets even more prominent this is the biggest season.
This is going to be the biggest rebuild year.
So you may have to look. You may not want to. But you may have to step away from a Tooney contract that's too big. You can't afford to just let a left guard control that much of your cap. Even at Joe Tooney, how good he is, I get it, but it's still not super crazy downgradable to think that you can't replace that. And again, that's not saying Joe Tooney's not great. Joe Tooney is amazing, but I think it's easier to replace a left guard than it would be to replace defensive tackle per se.
Right. Yeah. Those inside offensive linemen, sometimes you can find some really good ones in the draft. They're not as hard to replace. But yeah, like you said, I mean, Joe Tooney plays at a high level. So does Trey Smith. So they're not easily replaceable as far as,
Right.
being that elite at their positions.
Right.
But it's a lot easier than filling other holes. So, I mean, there's just a lot that's going to go on.
Dude, Veach has got his work cut out this year. He's going to have to earn
big time,
it.
Mike. Like I said last night, Mike, this is going to be where you really see what Brett Veach, Andy Reid, and everybody's vision is for the Chiefs going forward. Because we've seen some rebuild here, rebuild there, but nothing major this year. It's going to be a complete shift in the team. They can make some big-time decisions this offseason. So we're going to get an idea of what they're thinking. Lego in the house. What's up, Lego? Just smash that like button. It's free. Show your support for ACU. Please hit that like button if you haven't already. It just takes a second. Go do that. If you have not subscribed to the channel yet, please hit that subscribe button. Hang out with us more often. We're trying to sneak our way to 25,000 subscribers before the end of the Super Bowl next week. So if you haven't done that yet, do us a favor and hit that. Also, just go ahead and throw this out there, patreon.com/allchiefedup. If you want some extra content, you can be a member over there for $10 a month. And merch.allchiefedup.com. Have a new merch drop. We have a new merch drop, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But yeah, that's ways to support the channel. Also, we got Brenda with the 6-month membership. Brenda's been around. She's an OG. Says, I think they may have McKinnon in for one play so he can make a touchdown.
What do you think?
What do you think?
Hey, I don't care who scores it. I just want to see touchdowns.
I mean, if he does play, I don't know how heavy of a dose of McKinnon you would get, right? They might use him
Right, he's got to get
they
football
might use him in
shape, too.
situations.
He's been out a while.
Right. So, I mean, if he does get back and even play a few snaps, that's a big step for McKinnon as far as his injuries go on. So, I mean, I wouldn't expect to see him, full on playing like you're used to seeing McKinnon. But if he can get back at all, it's a bonus for the Chiefs. Got 2 from Flapjack. What's up, my man? He says, you know that I know, I know. What do you know?
I don't know what he knows, but let's figure it out. Flapjack, what do you know?
Mike, do you know what I know that Flapjack knows?
I don't.
Hey, we got a 20 bomb from Cobra Kai.
Hey, I know about Cobra Kai being the man. How about
yeah,
that?
we know about him being a legend. Put some legendaries in the chat for Ty. He says, so nice to have ACU and the crew back up and going. Please hit that like button and subscribe. Mike and Steve are honest and to the point. Love these guys. So awesome. And I think McKinnon will play one more year. Ty, appreciate the kind words, man. Ty also been a huge channel supporter since the get-go, and we really appreciate what you do, Ty. And it was awesome. We actually got to meet Ty back at camp, so that was cool. Love it when we can meet you guys. So really do appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I think that one more year, I could see that easily. Like, I just don't see him. McKinnon, actually, somebody had put that when he got hurt. I believe it might have been Lance Twidwell from the Spoken that posted on Twitter and was like, we could have seen the last time that Jerick McKinnon wears the Chiefs uniform. And Jerick McKinnon actually replied and said, you really think that, huh? Or something to that effect. So he was implying that he's going to be here next year.
Huh.
Well,
isn't that one of those things, though, where if he really, really knew he was going to do that, wouldn't it have been cheaper to got him on like a 2 or 3 year deal rather than just start playing year to year at that point?
I don't know. I don't know if it would be cheaper.
Right. I don't know either.
Maybe not.
Appreciate you, Ty, though. Appreciate that 20 bomb, man.
Yeah, legendaries in the chat for
cannot
Ty.
wait. Like, this season's not even over, but can you imagine what's coming next season? Because we may kick it off again with another Chew with the Crew part 2. Oh, a Chew with the Crew part 2. That could be amazing.
I like it. Part 2.
Year. Part 2. Brian Parrott was at Chew with the Crew. He says, ain't Prince Tangawongo still hanging around? Yeah, he's still
on the
injury
report,
right now. He's on the IR. They've opened up his 21 days, so he can be pulled up at any point. Mike Burton also, Mike says, how much turnover do you think the roster is going to have next year? I think it's going to be more than we want.
It could be significant.
Again, we've been talking about this, and there's 25 that they have to replace. So we ran those down yesterday, and dude, there was some big names on that list. Big names.
Absolutely. You know, we were hanging out with Pops earlier too, and me and him talked for just a few minutes about football because we always have to get in that. But he was saying that he watched our live last night, Mike, and that he was listening to us talk about how, you know, do they need to pay Chris Jones? Do they need to pay Snead? What do they need to do? And Pops said that his opinion is that if they figure out how to pay Chris Jones, L'Jarius Sneed, and Drew Tranquill, that's what they need to do. And then they can go on from there. But he said no matter how much money it takes, he thinks they should sign those three.
So he needs that trio.
And then move on from there.
Well, okay. I think everybody's with Pops. But the big question becomes, how do you make that work?
I think he's willing to lose whoever else. So he's willing to sacrifice a lot of other players.
So you're willing to pull those three on the roster and have 22. Presumably, you're going to draft, let's say, 6 to 7. So now you're down to we'll just say 15 equal. You've got to pull in 15 players at some point that's basically going to play for league minimum. Does that now become a little too dicey with the depth chart? You know what I'm trying to say?
I don't know.
It's a tough call, man. It's a tough call.
If the Chiefs can figure out how to keep those three guys and still manage to do a good job on re-signing guys that we need to and picking up other pieces. But like he said, he's not worried about the receiver thing whatsoever. He said that he thinks that even though they weren't great this year, that they're still a young team, and he thinks that they're going to come around.
I still think that Brent Veach got away with one this year at the wide receiver thing, and I don't think he's going to learn his lesson. Like, I was under the assumption that I thought he may go out and overcorrect it, but he may just look back and be like, hey, look who got away with it. We may just do it again.
Well, I mean, Pops was saying he don't think they even need to draft one. He said that with what they got, it's a lot of young guys, and even though they had a down year, he said just let MVS go and then keep what you got and let it roll. And he thinks that that's going to be okay. He said it's more important to figure out Chris Jones, L'Jarius Sneed, and Drew Tranquill than it is to even worry about a wide receiver.
Pops,
and I'd be interested to know what you guys in the chat think. I'm interested to know what you guys in the chat think. Do you think if they could keep L'Jarius Sneed, Chris Jones, and Drew Tranquill, all three of those pieces on the defense, would you care to completely ignore the wide receiver hole? Like, would you do that?
Dude, a lot of Chiefs Kingdom really want the wide receiver, though. I think there's going to be a lot of disappointed people in the offseason a
lot of people want L'Jarius Sneed, too, but, you know.
That's true.
We got Flapjack with a 5 bomb. It says they said last was a rebuild year. They said this year was a down year. They're going to hate what a good year looks like. Yeah, no kidding, man. Like, this team's been in the middle of kind of a rebuild for the last couple of years, and just crazy the level they've been able to maintain. That just shows you what kind of asset Patrick Mahomes is and having Travis Kelce, you know?
When does this team get out of the rebuild? So, for example, if we were in the rebuild last year, and that's what I'm trying to say, like if we were in a rebuild last year and we're pretty much in a rebuild, and then we're in a rebuild next year, you know we are. If you got to put 25, but I feel like you're constantly going to be doing that because the way Veach is building the roster, he's literally doing it with rookies. So that means every year you're going to have a good 7, 8, even 10, 15 players every year that presumably you're having to refill constantly because he's letting rookie contracts run, and then he's kind of saying, hey, we're going back to the rookie well. Like, that's the way he's doing it.
I mean, when you're in the middle of a dynasty and you're trying to juggle players like you have, like big name guys like Patrick Mahomes with that massive contract and things like that, do you ever get out of a rebuild? Like, I'm with you. Like, you always try to figure out how to piece the puzzle together and get the job done. But I don't think you can ever be comfortable or think that rebuilding's done. So, I mean, I know what you're saying. But yeah, man, when they do have like a good year, what they consider a good, solid like team where it's not in the rebuild mode, like, yeah, I mean, I'd love to see the damage they could do with that. Flapjack. Right. Brenda Pike with the 2. Appreciate you, Brenda. She says, I like the way your Pops thinks. Yeah, I mean, I guess I've never really thought about that before. It was just like trying to think about so many different holes to fill because you're talking about 25 guys they have to re-sign. So, like, I didn't ever think about just, well, you know what, screw everybody, but we have to get these guys back, and then we'll work with what we can get after that. You know, like, I never looked at it that way. It's an interesting way to look at it. But I mean, those are three major pieces to our defense. And then you got all of our secondary besides L'Jarius Sneed on rookie contracts. And, but you still got to look at Nick Bolton, right? Isn't he coming up this year? And Willie Gay, or just Willie Gay?
I think Nick Bolton and Creed and all them are next season.
Okay. That's right. You're correct. So, yeah. So they're looking at Willie Gay and Drew Tranquill. If you could only pick one of those two.
So, well, here's my thing. So,
which one are you taking?
Pops and what you just said. Chris Jones, and then you want Drew Tranquill, and then you're wanting, who was the other one? Oh, Sneed. So you're wanting those three.
Right.
But you got to look at some of the pieces you're missing around that. You now presumably you have to go to Wanye as your starting left tackle, right? Because Donovan Smith is gone. He's probably not going to be re-signed again anyway. But to be honest,
he was around $9 million.
But he's only 31, so they could presumably try to re-sign him. You're not going to re-sign Mike Edwards back, so he's presumably gone. You're going to have to say Sayonara to Tommy Townsend. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, you got some big names. Willie Gay's now gone. Dana's going to be gone.
What do you think Willie Gay is going to be able to get in free agency?
I'm kind of curious about that one as well.
Because I mean, like Willie Gay, by all means, up until this season, he kind of underperformed on what people thought he would be able to do in the NFL because
they're projecting
such an
Willie
Gay
freak. They're projected to be somewhere around $7 million per year. So they're projecting 4 years, $28 million for Willie.
That's not horrible for Willie.
That's about the same salary as
Drew?
Matt Milano makes from the
Drew?
Bills. Drew Tranquill. So Willie Gay $7 million. Drew Tranquill's market value is somewhere around the exact same price, 6.9. So they're saying Tranquill, he's only been in the league for 4 years, Drew Tranquill. So they're saying 2 years, about $14 million. To be honest, if I say goodbye to Willie, I think I try to lock Tranquill up for at least 4 to 5.
You have to.
I think I just go ahead and bring him here for the majority of his career and let it go.
Is it wrong? Like, I think that when I think about those two, love both of those guys and the things that they do individually. But when I really look at it, I want to say that Willie Gay has like a higher ceiling and more ability, like God-given talent. But I feel like Drew Tranquill's a better football player. Like
I see where you're getting. Willie's got.
I don't want to say he's smarter. I don't know if it's that, if he just knows where to be. Like, not necessarily smarter as in just, IQ. I'm not saying that, but like football IQ. Like, does he just have the feeling? Is it a natural thing for Drew? He seems to be in the right place at the right time all the time. I don't know, man. Like, I kind of lean towards Drew Tranquill for some reason, even though I love Willie's ability. I mean, it's nice to have a linebacker that can fly around the field like Willie Gay. And I mean, you saw that this year. He came on strong this year, So it was fun to watch him, and he's made some big plays.
Let's have a little exercise here. This is fun. I like doing this because this is spur of the moment.
All right, real quick before we do your exercise.
Go ahead.
Cobra Kai Ty with a 10 bomb. He says, yes, part 2 ready for camp again. Also, hook up more Zarda barbecue. Let me know. I will pay the discount or the deposit. I don't know why I can't read today. Deposit to reserve for us. I agree with your pops. We need to keep those 3 and Bolton. Yeah, man, appreciate the 10, Ty. And I think everyone seemed to enjoy doing it at Zarda. I kind of like it too, because like it might not be the most popular barbecue place or the best barbecue place, but it was pretty chill and laid back, and the staff was really nice and good to us.
Yeah, and we didn't even get the room. Like, we were supposed to get like a big room.
Yeah.
And they had to do a catering event. So technically there was a even bigger space for us back there. And I would say if we do it year 2, it's going to need a bigger room. I think
we're gonna get more of us got to be there, right?
Yeah, there's gonna be more of us there.
I appreciate that, Ty. But yeah, man, we'll definitely let you know what's up.
So I just Red Laces says Willie is so athletic, man. Drew is more versatile, playing multiple positions. This is kind of my exercise I want to do. So you guys know, again, we're really big on RAS scores. Okay.
Right.
What do you think Drew Tranquill's RAS score is in comparison to Willie Gay? Willie Gay
was almost a 10 out of 10, right?
He was a 9.71. So he scored a 9.77 at a vert. He scored a 9.99, the highest you could get at a broad jump. He was a 9.91 in the 40-yard dash at a 4.4. He was a 9.74 at the 20-yard split. He was a 9.75 at the 10-yard split because he ran both of those sub. He was 2.6 on a 20-yard and a 1.55. So his 40-yard dash mile per hour, he got to 22 miles an hour. That's how fast he got to. So if you think about that, and you're like, well, that's got to swamp Drew Tranquill, right? No.
I don't know. No.
Drew Tranquill's RAS score is 7.17 points higher. He was a 9.87.
Dang, I didn't know that about Drew.
He run a 9.2 40-yard dash. That was his score, not his time. It was just a 9. Right. So Willie was a 9.91. He ran a 4.46, and Drew ran a 4.57. So about a tenth of a second slower. But his 10-yard split and his 20-yard split was right there with him, like identical. His 3-cone was faster. His shuttle was faster. His vert was a 37.5 compared to Willie's vert at, it don't say exactly how much it was. It was a 39.5. Okay. So yeah, he jumped 2 inches shorter. But if you take just the jump off, literally Drew Tranquill's RAS score is, so it's saying that Drew Tranquill is more athletic than Willie Gay according to RAS score.
I would have never guessed that because I knew that Willie had a ridiculous RAS score. I remember that when him coming out of the draft. He was a Mississippi State guy, if I'm not mistaken, right? So I do remember that. Only fact is who's better in coverage, Tranquill or Gay. I think I don't know. I would say Tranquill, but I know Willie Gay's decent in coverage too.
Right.
Very fast guy. So I mean, I don't really know, Mike. You'd have to look up those stats. So check that out for only facts there.
For me, I feel like in pass coverage, you probably tend to go Tranquill.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know for sure though. I don't know any of the stats on that, so it's just like the eye test.
Yeah, it's kind of a feeling.
Yeah, Enrique with the 5 bomb. What's up, Enrique? Hope you're doing good, man. He says, amazing how these narratives suddenly disappeared. Fire Nagy, bring back EB, bench MVS, let Ross play. Was there ever anything to it? I think that the Fire Nagy thing was very similar to the Fire Spags people from last year. It's like you see an issue or something that you think's an issue and you have no one else to blame it on. You can't figure it out, so you just pick the offensive coordinator or the defensive coordinator.
The Fire Nagy and the bring back EB, I believe, go hand in hand.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, that's the hand in hand.
First of all, do you guys find it weird? Eric Bieniemy interviewed for the head coaching job in Washington. He's not going to get it. They're giving it to Dan Quinn. Now they're talking about getting Cliff Kingsbury as an offensive coordinator in Washington.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to lose everything there.
Yeah, he's going to be out in Washington, and his highest, like the place with the, I don't know what word I'm looking for, but where they're projecting him to end up, which would be a perfect fit for Eric Bieniemy, especially with the coach that they just hired, and that would be Las Vegas. We might be looking at Eric Bieniemy twice a year, fellas. And I mean, hard-nosed Eric Bieniemy, the way he is.
Look, if I'm
what
Eric
he's about,
Bieniemy,
does that not fit with Antonio Pierce, though?
Yeah, but look, if I'm Eric Bieniemy, I'm leaving the NFL. Hands down.
Yeah, they haven't gave him a shot, right? So I mean, screw it. Let's go.
Here's what I'm doing. If I'm Eric
right?
Bieniemy, I'm going back to college. I'm going to the University of Colorado, and I'm asking Coach Prime if I can have an offensive coordinator job. More than likely, you're going to get it. Within 3 to 4 years, Coach Prime will be out of Colorado, and I go ahead and take over that. And in 5 to 6, 7 years, I prove that I can win in Colorado. I prove I can win as a head coach in Colorado. And in 6 or 7 years, I come back to the NFL and I end my career. And whoever gets me, everybody's going to be eating my dust for not giving me a chance here, 5 years ago.
There's got to be more to it than everyone's talked about. We talked about that for the last 2 years. Like everyone's like, why can't Bieniemy get a job? Is it because
I just don't think you should just keep taking offensive coordinator jobs over and over again. It's not helping you.
Right, but I'm thinking that's where he's going to land is in Vegas. I think it's a good fit for him. I do think that he's very similar to Antonio Pierce and the way they think about things, and I think that would be a good fit. Don't want to see a good fit in Las Vegas, but I feel like it would be one. But appreciate the 5, Enrique. And Cole Keller, he says Kingsbury is the OC for the Raiders now.
No.
Nay.
No, he pulled himself out. He's not doing it.
Yeah, they announced that today. His agent came out and said he's not doing
Yeah, he's not
that,
taking
so.
it. He's actually going to interview at the Commanders.
Right. With Dan Quinn.
But look, I'm telling you, I just don't. If I'm EB, I don't keep doing this. I don't want to keep taking offense. It does not matter what you do as offensive coordinator. If it did, you would have got the job leaving Kansas City after you won a Super Bowl and putting together the highest power offense. So going to all these places that are inferior and that you're not going to win, why does that boost your resume anymore? It doesn't.
Right. Well, it's really weird because there's like this narrative now where it's like, is the NFL leaning back towards defense because they're hiring these defensive coaches like Dan Quinn,
Yeah,
Antonio
I think
Pierce.
they are.
What are they? Because you left Mike Vrabel and Bill Belichick on the table.
Yeah, but I think those were products of just not the right fits at the moment. I don't feel like if Belichick or Vrabel would have wanted to go to any of these teams, right? Belichick don't seem like a West Coast kind of guy. He's not going to want to move out there to the West Coast.
Belichick
I don't really
tried
think
to
he
get the
wanted
Atlanta job.
You think he really wanted Atlanta, though?
He just went to 2 interviews for fun, you think?
I just don't. I think maybe he was filling it out, but I think once you get in there and you talk to him a little bit, and you're like, wow, this is a dumpster fire behind the scenes.
Yeah, man.
It's the same way. Like, why would you ever want to go to Vegas? You know that little creep with the toupee that runs that whole team is going to screw you up at some point.
Al Davis.
Yeah, Al Davis is going to screw things up for you.
I will say this. The Antonio Pierce hire was the smartest move that Vegas has made in years. And I also think if they were to pull Eric Bieniemy in there, like I said, I think that's a good fit. And I think that would be another good move for them. And I don't like to see a trend of good moves from Vegas. I'd rather them continue to be a dumpster fire.
Do you think if EB doesn't get hired at some point, like just say he's out in Washington and he doesn't go anywhere else, do you think Andy Reid could bring him back to the roster and maybe him and Nagy now become like a co-coordinator, or maybe he takes a running back coach / offensive coordinator job? Or
everyone seemed to like it when Matt Nagy was the quarterback coach and Eric Bieniemy was the offensive coordinator. So I mean, you never know. That's a possibility. A lot of people think that he should be the successor to Andy Reid. You see that all the time. Like, oh, well, we have to get Eric Bieniemy when Reid's gone. I don't know. Like, judging from what other teams are seeing in him in the interview process and what they're seeing from him behind the scenes, I don't think that's a real life thing. I don't think the Chiefs are thinking that one bit.
No.
Just me.
Chi. I don't know how to spell. I'm sorry, I'm probably butchering it. EB had to leave in order to progress as an NFL coach. That is the sentiment. He had to get out of Andy Reid's spotlight. But my point is, you cannot keep taking offensive coordinator jobs at inferior places. And he did well in the Commanders. But look, if you keep taking jobs at these bad teams, right, then they're automatically, they don't have I don't know how to explain this, but it's like if you work at McDonald's and you're like, one of these days I want to be the big bad hamburger flipper. And you're like, but you salt the fries, baby. And they're like, but I don't want to salt the fries. But you just keep going to a different McDonald's every 2 blocks over, and they just keep hiring you to salt the fries. You're not going to be the hamburger flipper. Like, go to Burger King, see if they'll let you flip the hamburger. Then you can come back to McDonald's.
No. See, that's what I don't know. I don't know if I like that analogy. I kind of feel like it's going from. I think it's being like a McDonald's guy, and you just keep going to Burger King, and then you go to Wendy's when really you want to be working at Five Guys, like a real burger place.
All this hamburger talk is making me a little hungry. But here's what I'll say:
I have no idea what we're talking about.
I feel like EB needs to just step back from the NFL. In my opinion, that's what I would have done. I would get out. Maybe
something's going on.
Maybe he could get himself a nice college, another team available in college, and maybe do something there and prove himself to be a head coach.
Freaking Ty with another 10 bomb. Appreciate you, my man. Y'all make sure to put some legendaries in the chat for Ty. He says right now, just excited, want ring number 3, and back-to-back wins. Offseason is going to be stressful as hell. Juggling all the players, Veach is going to have gray hair. That's 100% true. And he says Bieniemy got screwed again. Yeah, I mean, on that sentiment though, it's like I'm kind of the same way as Ty. It's like, man, Bieniemy got done dirty again. But like, at what point do you say, man, he's not getting done dirty every year by every team in the NFL, and just the fact that he's not head coach material? Just
EB, like, he's not. Look, he doesn't interview well, or they don't like his style. But for some reason, nobody's reaching out to him.
There were like several players in Washington that reached out and said they do not want him as a head coach. Like that's immediate what they said after the
Which
season.
is exactly what we've been saying all year. That hard-ass style, these players don't like that. But you know where that'll work? College.
Right. Yeah. NFL's a different game, man. I mean, you're talking about grown men.
Go back to college.
Yeah.
Take over a team and prove people that you can lead and that you can win and you can develop young men, and you will get a shot in the NFL. It's the way you will do it. You will get there. If Urban Meyer can do it, you can do it. Nick Saban, he was a disaster in the NFL. I don't know, but I'll say this: I don't think it's a lot. I think that we all have this soft spot for EB, but I think at the end of the day, throw the excuses out all you want, but at the end of it, I believe EB is like his own worst enemy in a way, because he just doesn't. Yeah, he's stubborn. There's something about him, and I don't really know him personally. I mean, I'd probably like the guy.
I mean,
I'm just saying there has to be something. We can't just say that every NFL team just won't give EB a shot because EB just has bad luck.
Right. The thing is, we really don't know, but we know, you know what we do know, Mike. We know what Javi knows. We know that playoff Patrick is the truth. 5-bomb from Javier. We appreciate you, brother. Patrick Mahomes, playoff Pat is the truth for sure. Petty Pat is even a step level above that. When you get petty playoff Pat, things get a little crazy.
When you get petty playoff turtleneck Patty, we're going to a whole new level.
Yeah, a lot of people. Well, I see where Demon, Demon here. He says EB's only a system guy, so he needs the right quarterback. I mean, that's a possibility, but you think it is kind of a pigeonhole thing, like where he just needs to be in the right situation with the right head coach and this and that. I don't know. I just don't know what's not getting him over the hump. I don't know if they don't see. It has to be like I feel like Eric Bieniemy has the leadership skills. I feel like he has the football knowledge. It has to be something to do with attitude and personality and something not clicking with these players.
Right.
It has to be what's running these teams away from him. That'd be my only guess.
Yeah. I mean, there's got to be something there. There just has to be. Like, we just can't keep saying over and over that Bieniemy's just getting screwed over. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I feel like there has to be something there.
There's more to it. There has to be. We were talking about playoff Pat, petty playoff turtleneck Pat. We should make a shirt. Maybe that's a new shirt design that we should have.
You know, look, let's go back and talk about the roster for just 1 second, because somebody said it and I lost it, and it's been a while ago. I'm not going to go back and look.
Well, Mike, you go find that real quick. And while you're finding that, I'm going to show these people some nice new merchandise we have over on merch.allchiefedup.com.
Okay, go for it.
I'm going to pop that up real quick. We are running a special for the Super Bowl. And in celebration of the Super Bowl, you get 15% off with code SB58. And I'm going to share my screen with you guys real quick. We got some new designs. We got the can you see it, Mike?
I see it.
We got the ACU.
I don't know if I want to see it.
Jason Kelsey finished this shirt. We got, tits out, Jason Kelsey on the front here. The back. Yeah. Finish this mother. Okay. Awesome shirt to have for the playoffs here for the Super Bowl for sure. Might want to grab that. We also got a new one out. Nene.
Nene.
Got the ACU Nene shirt. So that's for sale now as well. Back got the logo like that. Pretty cool shirt. And then we got some other new stuff here. We got the greatest of all time, Patrick Mahomes here.
Turtleneck Patty. Look at that face.
Look at it.
That's a face only Randy could love.
He's so happy. He's so happy in this little cartoon. But we got that shirt rocking, got the logo on the back there. And then we also dropped, let me see, I went to the wrong thing. A little PP on the PP action.
A little PP.
A little PP on the PP. A little P. Ryan, a little Pacheco.
A little Prince. A little
Prince. A little PP. You think we'll see it? You think next season we'll see a little PP on the PP? If Clyde don't come back and McKinnon don't come back, then you might see a little PP on the PP next year.
You might have a lot of PP out there.
we might. And then for those of you that like really overdone stuff or something that kind of resembles a hockey jersey, we got the graffiti hoodie that just has so much stuff on it that, you can't deny it. You're a walking billboard at this point. Front, back, even on the hood, this stuff has things. On the inside of the hood is mine and Mike's face. So, I mean, absolutely ridiculous, but it's an awesome, like, polyester hoodie, like top of the line stuff on that, all over print. So, yeah, that's what we got in the store now.
I mean, it's also been proven that if you wear All Chiefed Up merch, you get laid more. 10% chance.
Yeah,
more.
I think that's actually a proven statistic by the University of Harvard. They did a study on it.
They've done a study.
So,
but anyways, we were talking about
merch.allchiefedup.com. Right. Go grab that. Go grab something from there.
We were talking about the off season and all the moves that Veach has to make, and we had mentioned this a few weeks ago when it happened, but we haven't really touched on it. But the Chiefs lost their executive vice president of football operations, Brant Tillis. They lost him to the Panthers. And so This was a guy that come in. I'm just going to put him up on the screen. My God, look at that head.
Look at that 5 head.
Guys, if you don't think he had all the football knowledge in frickin' history inside of that cranium.
Peyton Manning's bastard child or something.
This dude makes Peyton Manning look like a supermodel with his head. You could actually... Butker couldn't even kick a field goal from one side of the head to the other. He'd be short.
Gargantuan cranium on that.
This dude's cranium is daggone massive, and now he is not in the front office. Like, he's not there. So we do have some work to do, and I'm curious what the next guy's going to come in and do. What?
I'm hoping he don't see this because I don't want him crying.
He watches
I don't want him crying himself to sleep tonight on his giant pillow.
On his giant pillow.
Like, what is going on there, bro? That looks like. You think the helmet that they brought in for Patrick Mahomes when his broke in the Miami game was actually this guy's helmet, and that's why it looked so funny? Like it was sticking up off his head.
If this dude...
You ever seen Coneheads with Dan Aykroyd?
Right. This is who they based the model off of. Dude, Brant Tillis, I mean,
this isn't real.
He has to be super smart. Like, I know for a fact. Like, I don't want to just keep making fun of Brant. But, dude, that head, bro.
Oh my God.
If you had to wipe the sweat from his brow, you would need a beach towel to do it. Like, you've got to. I don't get it. He's only supposed to be 6 foot tall, but with that forehead, he now is 6'6" or something like that.
Talk about the Superdome, bro.
Everything he says is a complete lie because, tall toes. Because of that forehead.
I really don't know what's going on there, but I don't want to talk about it no
because
more.
Because of that big forehead.
Don't pull it back up. Don't put the picture back up, whatever you do. But no, man.
I'm putting it up. Would you rather, who would you rather look like in life? Would you rather walk around looking like this guy, or would you rather walk around looking like Nick Sirianni? That is I'll just stay in my house all day.
I feel like old Brant would look pretty normal if he didn't have a 10-story forehead. I mean, he'd be a normal guy. Like, maybe if you could get some kind of surgery performed or something, I don't know, lower that cranium down.
How do you get a lower cranium surgery performed? Is that even real?
I don't know. It's insane. But Nick Sirianni's a D-bag.
He's a Marooch.
So I'm gonna go with big head. I'll take big head. I'll take my chances with my giant head.
You're never gonna get to wear a hat again.
Yeah, I can. It's just going to sit up really high, like this.
Higher. It's got to go higher than that.
Who we kidding here? But anyway, yeah, that could be a big loss. A lot of people talk about him being dude, I can't. Mike, stop. They're going to kill me with these comments.
What is happening? What have we become? That we're just now we're making fun of poor Brant's forehead.
First of all, 5 head there. It's supposed to be like a cap genius, pretty much, or a really good cap guy. That's what I've read anyway. Rumor has it that was Brett Veach's cap guy, and that was his go-to. And do you think that makes a difference with Brett Veach having a different staff this coming off season?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what you just said because I'm still thinking about his forehead, bro.
Talking about freaking Frankenstein,
Yeah,
dude.
you can't do it. I can't. Y'all, we're gonna have to end this live because I can't. This dude's in his head.
I
with
had
a
never
long
seen him
cane.
before. Like I'd never. You ruined everybody's day with that picture. God bless America, dude.
This dude, on the bright side, we'll still see him while he's in Carolina. You'll see the top of the head poking over the hills, the mountains.
Hey, Pop says that we've gone slap nuts crazy and that we need to calm down.
Pops, look at this fella. This guy was partly responsible for building Super Bowl teams. My
Somebody just said he
God.
has to put his shirt on upside down. What is I don't even know what that
What's happening, bro? Brian Barrett said he's an eggplant. I can't do it. What is happening with our lives right now? Dude, what is going on?
Oh, the mental image. Oh,
He said
dude.
he has a whole team of 5 now. Brant,
All right.
we're sorry, bro. Like, for real. Yeah. Dude,
I gotta compose. I can't do
would
it.
say,
I can't compose myself here.
I don't even know what to do. Oh my God, I can't do it, dude.
What were we even talking about?
I have no idea. I can't compose myself. I can't do it.
I can't even read the comments because there's tears in I'm crying.
Dude,
God.
I can't,
Right.
man. That's just insane.
Gosh dang it. As soon as I start to get a little bit of composure, someone says he has to wear wizard hats.
Wizard. The sleeve of a wizard.
I can't do this no more.
Oh my God.
Dude, somebody says I just turned on the live and I'm so confused.
Bro, aren't we?
You might want to go
all?
back a little bit.
Yeah, go back just a
We
little
were
bit.
actually talking about like football and stuff for the longest time. Oh my God. Okay, let's see if we can get back to whatever you do. Let's stop with the
Yeah.
comments about the head, and let's also never pull that picture back up again. Now go on with your point that you're making before you decided to
Oh yeah, yeah.
give us all nightmare fuel for
Well,
today.
the whole point is that that 08 head's gone. And so I'm curious to see what the replacement and how he's going to now work with Veach to figure out this changeover in the offseason. That was kind of where I was getting at. And to be honest, I had a better spiel. And I'm just going to say, if I would have had that dude's forehead, I wouldn't have forgotten anything I was going to say. But I just can't right now with this guy. Like,
have you ever seen like the bow and arrow, but it has like the arrow has a little suction cup on the front? Like I would do anything. Like it would make my life if I could just like pop that dude in the forehead with one of those and just hit stick there.
dude.
Like that would make me so happy.
I don't even know what's happening.
Okay,
This
please
dude-
stop. All right, let's change the subject. We got to change the subject, or we're not going to be an account for the rest of this.
I'm not gonna make it, dude. I'm not gonna make it. Like, I'm just dead serious.
Like I'm already like a little sleep deprived. I'm kind of like I didn't get much sleep last night, and then I had to work all day, and then now this, and then now that head. It's just really I don't know if I can handle it.
Gary said I didn't hear. Where is he heading? Good night. I don't know where this guy's going. He needs to
Can't
go to
do
the
it,
doctor
can't
and
do
get
it.
that thing checked out, bro.
Let's switch this up a little bit. TGZ says, "Where'd you get that hoodie?" Pops got me this hoodie. Actually, I think it was a Christmas gift. It's a combine training. Yeah, just a hoodie. Mike, I bet old Brant would have to put this hoodie on upside down, whatever that means.
I can't.
But TGZ, I have no idea where he got it, so I'm not sure. Maybe type in like
Can't do it.
combine training hoodie. I'm glad you froze up. I'm glad that you froze up for a
I
minute because I
froze.
can't
I thought
stand
I
you
just
right now.
quit. I'm just done.
Lego says his head's so big his dreams are in 4K.
Oh my god.
Mm, I'm done.
Could you
I'm
imagine his
done.
poor mom when he was born? I can't. I just can't do it.
Goats and hoes in the house. He says, Mike and Steve, can you please put that face on a shirt and
No.
sell it to us?
You guys will scare the crap out of everybody. We can't do it.
Well, no wonder the Chiefs have been winning so much. Got the biggest brain of all time working in our.
Kevin's making a bobblehead. There's not enough plastic on Earth to make but 10 of those. So
He'd be like,
they would.
we can't
super
get the
limited.
bobblehead to actually stand up. So I have to super glue it to the desk. I wonder if when he walks he just falls over.
You know that
He has
big-headed
poor
dude
balance.
on Star Trek that everybody always shares with the fat head? That's what I keep thinking of so much.
Ray, that is what's his name? Brant
Brant Tillis.
Tillis.
He was
Tillis.
our God, I don't even know, vice president of football operations or something.
He is the supreme ruler of giant headism.
Dude.
Good grief, bro.
Oh my God.
Chief Kelsey said Peyton Manning says, "Damn, look at that forehead." You know it's bad.
That's pretty bad if Peyton Manning has got a tinier head.
Man.
I can't do
You
it.
think
Like,
you got
we've got to stop with it.
Yeah, let's move on. We gotta move on. We gotta go into something else, bro. This has been going on for far too long.
But it's
and I
great.
can't deal with it.
It's
It is great. But if I start laughing again, I'm done for the day. So we gotta chill. We gotta chill. Let's talk about the Super Bowl.
I can't do it, dude.
TG, hey, for real though, TGG has a question. Have you guys looked into possible tight ends for the draft?
Woo.
TGZ. So honestly, I don't watch a whole lot of college football. I kind of watch it here and there, very casually. I watch a lot of. Normally, what I do before the draft, right after the football, like the NFL season's over, I normally start digging into the draft, and I'll start watching a lot of tape on these guys. So I mean, I don't have any like good analysis for you, but obviously you got Brock Bowers and you got Jatavion or whatever his name is. I can't remember his last name, from Tennessee. Those are probably the top two guys. What's his name, Mike?
Wait, Jatavion Sanders. He's from Texas.
Texas. That's what I meant. Texas.
Yeah, I figured.
But yeah, those two guys, like those are
There's
the
a kid
top
out
two.
of K-State I kind of like. His name's Ben. I don't remember his last name. Sinnott. I don't know how he pronounces it.
I'm super excited to jump into draft stuff. First things first, we win the Super Bowl, the back-to-back. Mahomes gets his third ring. That's the most important thing. But I cannot wait to jump into draft coverage this year. I'm super excited about it. So, like,
Yeah.
I just can't wait to jump into tape and start watching all these guys. It's going to be fun, man. Hey, have a good one, Richie. Thanks for hanging out, man. He's had enough of the head talk. I'm going to bed. Going to bed on that note.
I plan on watching so much stuff by draft. I'm gonna look like this. That's what
we're gonna have that much knowledge about the draft. So
that's what
just
I'm going for.
Last couple of years, Mike, we've done pretty good in mock drafts and things about Chiefs targets. Like we've been pretty good, and then the ones that we didn't necessarily get ended up being great football players. Receivers this last year, you were big on Tank Dell, Puka Nacua. Both of those guys turned out. We've had a lot of stuff, but this year I feel like we're going to take it to the next level. I got a good feeling about it.
Yeah, I really do think even with the off season being so, I don't want to say dire looking, but it's going to be work for Brett.
The draft's very important this year. You don't think it would be, but I think it's very. I think it's very.
This is another reason I believe that the Chiefs may do everything they can. They may trade out of a number one pick. You may trade back to just try to acquire more picks. You may just try to trade anybody you can in the offseason to acquire picks because you may need more rookie contracts for the next few years. But without Dan Aykroyd in the front office, I don't know how we get it going.
Hey, this is what it's all about right here. Deborah, she says, I became my mother's total soul caregiver this year. It's been kind of a rocky one. You guys have made me laugh for the first time in the year. Thanks so much.
Damn,
I
that
really
comment
needed
just
it.
made me
Go
laugh
Chief.
because I just thought,
Man,
I just thought of random people watching this and being like, these two are stupid. Just laughing.
man, I'm glad everybody's having a good time, though. I mean, it's
Dude,
hilarious.
sometimes you just gotta laugh. Deb, appreciate you being here.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it. I can't wait. Yeah, I'm excited for the off season. Again, everybody's like, "Hey, let's talk about the Super Bowl," but there's only so much you can talk about. How many times are we going to wear this out? You know what I mean? Like it's the 49ers versus the Chiefs. We know who's playing. It's like, let's show up at this point.
Is it like bother you a little bit at how confident you are in this game? Like, so I almost worry that I'm like way too confident with this.
No,
But
because I'm not overly confident.
every time I look at this matchup, I just don't. I'm like, I don't.
Right.
Like the Chiefs are going to have to give this game away. Like it's going to have to be them beating themselves.
I have a cool I'm not nervous about it or anything because I'm under the assumption that like I don't think the Chiefs have to prove anything to anybody. Like I'm just there. You don't have to prove to me that they're a dynasty.
But this would be the dagger and all the haters.
But Pat like, doesn't have to prove that he has to win this to be the greatest of all time. Like to me, he's going to have so many more. Dude, again, we're in rebuilds. I think Flapjack said it earlier. What happens when we get out of the rebuild? My God, we're going to just tear through it. And Mahomes is getting smarter and smarter. If you go back and look at this last playoff game compared to even the Super Bowl against the first 49ers team we played, night and day difference watching him like see the field, call audibles, get the team in the right spot. He's still growing. He's still awesome. And like, I just don't care. Like, I want the Chiefs to win, but it is not life or death for me to win this game. But I do feel confident in the team. And that's weird because you couldn't have – I don't think anybody could look in the mirror and say that with a straight face after the Raiders beat us on Christmas Day. That you could be like, oh, pretty confident the Chiefs are going to roll through the Super Bowl.
Well, I think everybody knew it was possible, but I don't know how confident everybody was at that time. So I'm right there with you, man. Flapjack with the 2 bomb says, so we calling heads or tails in the Super Bowl? I think our sign has been given that we got to call heads, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to call that a sign.
That's a pretty damn big sign, Mike. I mean, can't miss it.
Hey, that's like a daggone billboard. That's not a sign. That's a billboard, babe. Like, it's just done. I can't.
Dang, man. Casey Finn says, well, Steve, we have seen that happen all year, us giving up games. Agreed. I think that's why I'm going to keep harping on the same point. Been saying it all this first week of Super Bowl coverage. The most important factor in this game is intensity, attitude, and how much do you freaking want it. Like the Chiefs have to have what they've had throughout this playoffs because they've been, by all means, this team, you watch the whole season, Mike, do you really think this team has been as good as the last 2-3 years? No, they haven't. But they've literally come out in the playoffs, man, and just that attitude change, a little flip the switch, and they realize they're tired of people talking trash. They're tired of being called the underdog. They're tired of saying they can't win on the road. Patrick Mahomes is tired of all the BS talking about him, how Josh Allen's better, Lamar Jackson's better, everybody's better. I think they've had enough, man. I think they have to use that fuel, and they have to bring it. Same intensity level in the Super Bowl. That's the biggest factor to me.
Right. Well, I honestly think going back and watching some older Chief games just recently, trying to figure out what the problem was with this offense or whatever. But I want to be, as hard as I was on this team this year, I also want to say that this team is a good team across the board. Like, I honestly think this team could beat the 2020 Chiefs. I really do. I believe they're better than the 2020 Chiefs. It's just the 2020 Chiefs, they played behind all year long that year too.
That's true.
They
The
just
only
found the
big
way. They found the way to get over the hump where this team kind of struggled a little bit, but that was literally it.
Yeah, Lonnie, that's exactly what I was saying, man. Everyone thought second round, something like that, until the proverbial fire was lit under us, and then all bets are off, right? But no, Mike, I would agree with you. I think that this team is a better all around team, because if you go back to the 2020 team, our defense was nowhere near what it is now.
Our offensive line was better. Our just everything was better. Maybe not the wide
Or is
receivers,
better.
obviously.
That's the biggest hole, is the fact that they had Tyreek Hill in that one. They don't have him now. But I would go as far as to say that Pacheco's a better running back than Damian Williams. I think I do think this team is better. I think this team's had a tougher time figuring it out than that 2020 team.
Right.
That seemed a little more smooth. They still had their moments, but they're a little more smooth. But I think it was Dave Tobe that I was watching talk about this team. And he said that, it's just tremendous how this team's been able to, through all the adversity through the year, it might have been Matt Nagy, actually. They're figuring out how to win games, even when things are ugly and they're bad. Like, they're still figuring out how to win. They're figuring out how to rely on each other, all three phases of the game. And, they're just kind of getting the right momentum at the right time. Everybody's getting that confidence. It is a perfect storm. Like Mike, I said before the playoffs started, I could kind of feel a little bit of that, 2021, was it 21? Tampa Bay Buccaneers, where they kind of struggled throughout the year, and then at the right time, everything started clicking, and they just ran off a Super Bowl run.
Right.
I said I could kind of see this team doing that, and that's exactly what's going on. They just got to go finish the job, right?
This team has literally just been a couple things. It's been slow development at wide receiver, slow to no development, let's be honest, because I don't feel like we've seen development from Kadarius Toney from last year to this year. Like, I feel like he should have developed into a better receiver, and you just didn't get that. MVS, by all means, he showed up in the playoffs, but I don't feel like his play got any better.
He's no different than last season.
Right. He didn't get any better in his second year. So I feel like it's just consistency. It just boiled down to just a small, just how consistent are you? And I think they're finding it at the right time. So to go back to everything that we've talked about, I'm not overly confident, but at the same time, I know that the Chiefs can only be beat by the Chiefs. They've proved that all year. Even when they've lost their games this year, what's done it? Just drop balls, mental mistakes, not scoring, taking your foot off the gas.
Yeah, just random stuff.
It's just Chiefs beat the Chiefs. That's it. Just lock it in and win the game. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, for sure. We only have 130 likes, Michael. I think that we should definitely have way more than that. We should have more than that. Let's see that get over 150 very quick, or we're going to make you stare at this guy.
Look at this guy
for longer.
This guy deserves at least 150 likes. Steve,
this guy's got 300 likes in his head. Like, there's no way.
Do you know, like, you're told if you don't have nothing good to say, don't say it at all. So you just kind of just internalize it. This guy must have internalized every thought he's ever had about anyone.
He's never spoke a word.
Yeah, he's never did it. He's never spoke a word.
Man, I bet he's never,
He probably picks up radio reception with that forehead. Can
you imagine him in a race, like a track race or something, where they had to do, like, how they'll dive forward to get to the finish line? He won 100% of those.
He didn't even have to leave. He just bends over and his forehead finishes the race.
You don't even leave the starting line. He just...
This dude beats Tyreek Hill in a 40. He just bends over and the forehead crosses the finish line. That's a 40-yard forehead right there. But yeah, here's the thing. I'll say this. The big factor in the Chiefs winning this game, again, we've talked about it, it's Christian McCaffrey. It's our defense continuing to step up. But I have no doubt Spags is going to do that. Our offense needs to be consistent, and we need to continue to be good in the second half. Like, we cannot go the second half scoreless again. You can't do that. Can't do it. We got to keep putting points on
100%, man. That's the first thing I've been harping on is consistency, or not consistency, but the intensity. that's the first thing I've been saying. Like, we have to keep that intensity, the same attitude, go out there and just play to win, right? Like, you have to
Right.
have that. But secondly, the main thing I have to say about this game is that you have to play a complete game, because we've talked about it 15 times in this last week, Mike. Green Bay had them dead to rights. The Lions had them dead to rights. They don't go away. They will play a full game and they will come back on you if you stop.
Right.
So you cannot go scoreless in the second half in this game. Absolutely
Right.
not.
Jared with a 2. He says, why does MVS always
Yeah,
fall
baby.
down when he catches the ball? I don't know. I do notice like a lot of his deep passes and stuff.
Maybe he went to the wide receiver school of Brant Tillis.
Yeah, his
And,
head's too heavy. He's top heavy. He flips. I don't know.
He really does, though. He does. I've noticed that too, Jared. It's something about
You think it's a
MVS.
good thing though? You think he's like when he falls down, he's making sure like he's washing it in his hands, and to the point where like he can't do two things at once, like walk and chew gum, catch a ball and run.
Jared's making a great point here, though, because if you even go back and look at a lot of MVS's touchdown catches and stuff, even like throughout the season, all of his big catches, he falls down.
Yeah.
Every time. I don't know what it is, but you know what? If he actually catches the ball when he falls down, by all means, do what you got to do.
Yep.
Because, I mean, he's definitely stepped up here in the playoffs, and then shout out to MVS for that, because we gave him a hard way to go all year. So at least he showed up when the time's right. But, yeah, I don't understand it either, Jared. Appreciate the 2, my man.
Yep.
And we got Ty with a freaking 20 bomb again, legend himself. He said, trying to drop some gifted memberships, but my computer is acting up. Sorry, trying to reboot and reset it all. Haven't used it since being on before YouTube screwed you, trying to fix it so I can give memberships. Ty, we appreciate you, man. You do so much for the channel. We appreciate that, man. So, yeah, hopefully you can get that fixed and grow this ACU crew. Actually, Chris Wright came in big since the channel's been back. You had some help there, Ty, like we're getting the crew built up, getting it back to what it was, going a lot quicker than we thought it would, actually. So, I mean, it's awesome. We definitely got screwed right in the middle of the season, but we fared pretty well despite that fact, I would say.
Yes, 100%. Appreciate you, Cobra Kai. You're the man.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. Yeah, man. Love growing the crew, though. Members only live stream coming up this week. Don't know what day yet. Keep your eye out for that. It will be one of the days this week. Really depends on our schedule. So, I mean, it literally could be Tuesday, Wednesday. It could be later in the week. Don't know for sure, but we're definitely going to get that posted and going. So if you'd like to be a part of the members only live stream, where we will be doing the Wheel of Death, we will be giving away some merchandise. So if you want to be part of that, go hit that join button right now and become a member. Join.allchiefedup.com. That'll take you straight to it. $5 a month. That'll get you started. That's the Matt Castle entry-level pack there. If you'd like to be part of the Alex Smith crew for 10, that's awesome. And if you want to be a legend and be a Patrick Mahomes member at $25 a month, that goes a long way to helping the channel as well. So appreciate you guys for sure. Ty with another 5, another freaking 5. It says, Mike, can you gift some memberships for me with the 20?
I'm in the process.
Heck yeah, baby. Teamwork makes the dream work.
In the process,
Ty,
baby.
appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you, my man. Got another 2 from Jared. Says Cobra Kai is the greatest. The greatest.
The greatest.
The greatest. Absolutely, man. Appreciate the 2. Appreciate Ty. Appreciate everything you guys do. Make sure to put some legendaries and catch-ups and all the fun stuff in the chat for all the guys that have put out donos tonight and everything like that, because it definitely helps the channel. Trying to get back to a full time in this bad boy. That's what we want to do.
Yeah, for sure.
So maybe we'll get there. We'll get there. Mike, membership in a way, one at a time, figuring it out. Valerie with a 10 bomb. Appreciate you, Valerie. Shout out to Valerie. She's been supporting the channel for the longest. Even when YouTube was being YouTube, she was hitting us up other ways. So definitely appreciate you, Valerie. We got Pops in the house with the 5 gifted memberships. Appreciate you, old man. Appreciate you. And he bought me Chinese food today.
Pops did. He took us Chinese food for some birthdays.
Pops came in clutch today.
And
me and Pops are going to be chilling watching the Super Bowl. So that's going to be fun too.
Right. Dude, I looked into everything trying to cancel my stuff, man, so I could watch the Super Bowl. You guys, I just can't do it.
You know what, Mike? It's okay. We're gonna celebrate some way, somehow.
Well, the
I
only
told you I
way-
would. I told you I'd FaceTime you and sit you on the couch.
The only way that it was possible to do it without just ruining the entire trip was I would have just had to cancel up and then buy a plane ticket. Because otherwise, losing the whole day with the drive was just gonna like just kill it. So
It's okay. It's okay.
wish.
It's
I
okay.
wish.
We're still gonna. It's okay. You're gonna be on FaceTime. I'm making you sit on the couch, just like you would. It's gonna be fine. We got Brenda with the gifted membership. Appreciate you, Brenda. Thanks so much. If you guys are receiving these gift memberships, make sure to thank the people in the chat. Also, if you would like to grab one of those, make sure you have your gifting turned on. Go up to the gift at the top of the chat, click on it, click allow gifts, and then maybe you can snag up one of these memberships. Definitely appreciate you guys. Ty with another 5 bomb says, thanks, Jared. You're awesome to me. Thanks, brother. So just wanted to get that out there. Appreciate that, Ty. Sure. Let's see. We got Jay Kelsey showing up in the house with the 5 bomb. Come on, Jay. Good to see you, my man. Glad you could make it in.
Jay, you're from Iowa, correct?
Jay's
our boy from Iowa.
No, one's from Iowa, one's from Florida.
Florida. So I'm trying to figure out which one's from Florida, and which one's from Iowa.
I think Jay Kelsey is. I'm gonna go Florida with him. But I do have him. I could have him backwards. You have to let us know in the chat. 2 bomb from Jared. Spags up for a head coaching job next year. Definitely could be. He's shown interest, or he said he has interest in taking another head coaching job. He hasn't had one since the St. Louis Rams, and that didn't go all that great for him. But as good as he's been as a defensive coordinator, I think he'll get another opportunity for sure. And it could be next year, Jared.
I hope he does. Actually, I'm going to say I hope he don't. I want him to stay with the Chiefs until he retires.
Okay, Jay Kelsey's from Missouri.
Right, just saying.
So how many different J's do we have?
We have a lot of J's, baby.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you, though, Jay. Hey, he's a Missouri guy. That's right where he should be, right?
Yes.
And we're guessing everywhere in the United States except for exactly where he should be at on a Kansas City Chiefs channel. I mean, we're not even there. I don't even remember what I was talking about.
KC says, hey, Mike, can you see my
Spags.
comments? I'm watching on X. I can. Look, see this little X next to your logo?
Nice.
So nice to know that if you're on X watching, we get the little X notification. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I do see that.
Yeah, I wish we could get more people watching these on X.
And Facebook, by the way.
Yeah, and Facebook. Those are tougher platforms to pull in on live streams, but it'd be nice to be able to grow that a little bit. But back to what we were talking about with Spags, Mike. You know what he's been able to do for the Chiefs as defensive coordinator in the 4 seasons he's been here now? Like, he deserves a head coaching job if that's what he wants to do. Like, by all means, if that's what he wants to do, I'm all for him getting a job. So as much as I want to be selfish too and keep Spags around forever because he's the best defensive coordinator. He's the greatest defensive coordinator in football. I don't know if I can be that selfish.
Lego says, I wonder what the ring will look like this year.
No idea.
You know, I did, but it's going to have 4. It's going to have 4 dates on it.
Let's go.
For the 4th Super Bowl in team
Last year's was really cool where they could take the top off and it showed Arrowhead.
Yeah. Speaking of taking the top off.
Taking the top
and I'm not going to segue this into Pat Mahomes shirtless. I'm going to say we need to take the top off of Allegiant Stadium. We need to put so many points on the board that we should the Chiefs faithful Chiefs Kingdom should set the noise decibel level in their own stadium so bad that they can never get it themselves. Like we will always for history be known as the Chiefs Super Bowl was the loudest decibel ever recorded in that stadium.
Well, dude, I mean, it'd be cool if actual Chiefs fans got to be there, but I'd say a majority of the crowd's just a bunch of celebrities.
Yeah, at $8,000 minimum a ticket. Is that what it is?
Yeah, it really is 7,000 something. Is like the minimum ticket per person, and that's up in the nosebleeds, dude. It's insane. So I mean, the average Chief fan can't afford that. So I mean, I don't think that's going to happen, but I do think that the Chiefs can claim it. You know, like if they go into their house and win a Super Bowl there, they got the Chiefs Kingdom flag buried under the stadium. They get to write the Chiefs name in their end zone.
Did you see where a guy came forward wearing Raiders stuff with a mask
saying he got it out?
He dug the
that was a photoshopped photo.
It's got to be, right?
100%. If you look at it close, it's photoshopped.
This guy's an idiot.
Yeah,
Look,
he tried though.
There's no Raiders fans that can even get out. Like, did they even give you that much time to like time in the prison yard to be able to get to the stadium and dig it up?
Yeah, I don't think so.
He might have get that much time.
He might have been a runaway he was on work release or something, and he ran away from the local factory. I don't know. It's a possibility.
You think now that Chiefsaholics in there, do you think he's now becoming a Raiders fan?
I don't know, man. He's pretty diehard. If you're out robbing banks to watch the Chiefs,
this cat's probably getting jumped every day by Raiders fans. It's like 1,000 to 1 in there. Okay, poor guy.
That's great. Go Raiders! And then they beat him up.
Yeah.
Jared with the 2 bomb. Jason Kelce to the Chiefs for 1 year. If it wasn't for Creed, I don't think people would be mad at it. But Jason Kelce, I think he's done.
Kelce said he'd never play for another team. He's an Eagles guy.
He's an Eagle. He is an Eagle. He is the Eagles. Like, I feel like they're losing their heart when he retires.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, wasn't he the one that called half the audibles and stuff on the line?
Right.
Even the quarterback.
I love that clip of them playing. I think they were playing the Chiefs, and Jalen Hurts was trying to call an audible, and he looked back at him and shaking his head. No, He's stop.
Like, no.
Yeah. That was pretty good. Speaking of Jason Kelce, we talked about this briefly earlier at dinner, but I saw an article where he said that since Travis couldn't be at the Grammys to support Taylor, that he would step in, and he's going to the Grammys to support his brother's girlfriend. I thought that was a really cool gesture from Jason Kelce, right? Like, I mean, that's pretty cool. And on top of that, though, the first comment that I saw was great. It said, this is basically just saying that no one's going to jump up on stage and try to take away what she earned. Like, there's going to be no more Kanye's because Jason Kelce would absolutely obliterate him right there on live television. No one's messing with Tay-Tay with Jason Kelce sitting there. That's not going to happen.
Did you happen to hear Colin Cowherd's rant about Taylor Swift and Kelce?
It's a good one. I thought you were making a short about that.
I did. I released it. It released tonight, or it's going to release at 11 p.m. actually.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't got to watch it yet.
But dude, what he said was kind of spot on in a way. He's like, look, we used to get pumped for Jack Nicholson showing up courtside to Lakers games. You get pumped when Spike Lee's sitting on the sidelines.
They show him constantly. Yeah.
Everybody was excited when Eminem showed up to the Detroit Lions games.
People used to be excited back in the day when Jessica Simpson and Tony Romo were together.
Right. But Taylor Swift, because it's the Chiefs and you love to hate them. And the thing is, he pulled up. She was on TV for a grand total of 25 seconds, and people are crying about it. 25 seconds.
Dude, it's insane. I think
out of a 3.5 hour broadcast, by the way. But yeah, I don't usually agree with Colin Cowherd, but I think he hit the nail on the head with that one. So props to Colin Cowherd. I will say if I'm wrong, I'll say if somebody needs props, and he definitely gets it.
Yeah, for sure. I liked what he had to say, so I'm excited to watch your short, Mike. I haven't got to see it yet. Hope it's a good one. Good grief.
This dude already seen it with his telekinetic powers.
Freaking Megamind. That's who he is. Good grief.
When he dies, scientists are going to preserve that skull. You have to. You have to be like, this is proof that
so
human existed. I guess.
I know you can kind of play ratio here if you look at his shoulders and stuff, but presumably if everything else is proportionate, maybe his head's normal size, but his face is just really squished together at the bottom.
Maybe it could be that kind of thing.
If I photoshopped this photo and made his head a normal size and you showed that, everyone would think this was the Photoshop version.
Right.
It's ridiculous. Joe E., this is Brant Tillis.
Brant Tillis.
He was part of Brett Veach's staff, and he just left us to go to Carolina.
Right. So I'm trying to take it off, but his forehead's so big my computer can't load and unload the image fast enough, so it's frozen.
Someone said he can't wear headphones. This is what it would look like if he tried to wear them. Like, only they'd be touching right here. Like, it'd be like...
He would have to hear out of his temples. He can't even reach those ears, bro.
And he'd have the little things pulled down as far as they can go. Still wouldn't reach.
Come on now. I'm not trying to derail it. I'm just saying, this guy, this is wizardry.
Every time Mike doesn't like what I'm talking about, he'll go to something. And that today it's that.
We were talking about Colin Cowherd.
I know.
I brought it up. It was a good segue.
Ray says that pic has to be photoshopped, and I'm kind of in agreement.
Okay,
like,
hold up.
That can't be real.
Let me go get
Is there
another
more
picture
pictures of him?
Yeah, let me go find another one.
Go find another one and see if his head looks that gargantuan. Maybe it's I don't know. I don't know how you can hide that thing.
Guys, come on now. This isn't real. Hold up.
Jared says, serious question. No, I just clicked the wrong thing. Jared said, serious question. When you guys get Brett Veach on the channel, can you make a live stream? We need Brett Veach on the channel. We need him. We need Brett Veach. We need
I wish
him
he
to take
would,
us
but
to dinner.
something tells me that Brett Veach, I don't feel like Brett Veach or even a player would come on to one of these kind of shows. You might get them if you get somebody that's just going to sit there and not ask any tough questions. They're never going to say a bad word about it. You know what I'm trying to say?
Well, you have to think a lot of players don't like this format.
Right.
Like Justin Reed straight up told Arrowhead Addict that everyone in the locker room hates them. Like no one likes them. No one likes their channel. No one likes their stuff. Like he straight up told them that. Every one of our players hates you.
Hey.
Literally told them that on X. So I think, I have to think, man, like they see a lot of stuff, right? And we're on here week after week making fun of MVS, like MVS, he sucks. And, this and that. So you think MVS likes our channel? You think his friends do? You know what I'm saying?
You think MVS would come on this show?
No, not a chance.
Look.
Not a chance.
Just.
Good grief.
Here we go. He's
still got a big old head. He's still got a big old head. But I think like his body, this puts into perspective what I was saying earlier. Like maybe his
looks
face
a little
is just
less
really scrunched
tall.
together. Maybe his head's a normal size, but his face is really squished up like right here.
Do you watch the guy on TikTok that reviews food?
From Kentucky, from Horse Cave.
Yes.
Yes, that's him.
He says, today I'll be reviewing Wendy's Baconator. Like that guy,
it's so
right?
good.
It is it's only $7.99 plus tax. Let's jump in.
You sound just like him. It's kind of creepy.
I'm going to start a YouTube channel not making fun, but just like homage to that guy.
You should just do making fun of him. We make fun of everybody. Go ahead.
Today, I'll be eating Chinese food. That's what I should have done today while I was doing it. The General Tso's chicken was incredible.
It's a little soggy. I don't know about it.
It could be a little more crispy and they could use some white meat, but no.
Man, that guy. All right, man. Let's get your last questions in for the night. Get your questions in. Get your questions in. If you guys hit that like button, if you haven't already, do us a favor and go do that. Subscribe if you have not. Don't forget super chats, gifted memberships, all that go a long way. So if you guys can spare it, feel free to help the channel out. We'd appreciate that. Also, merch.allchiefedup.com. Get over there and get you some merchandise. We have that merch drop. Use the promo code SB58, SB58. That'll get you 15% off everything in the store. And that ends the day after the Super Bowl. So that's kind of a little celebration for the Super Bowl. So this week, get you some merchandise. Definitely appreciate you guys. But we're probably going to wrap it up here in a few minutes. So if you have any more questions or anything you'd like to put in the chat, go ahead and get that in there. And we got a 2-bomb from our man Flapjack. He says, looks like my big toe popping out of a sock. His head looks like a big toe.
Yeah.
It does. He's got a toe head. Good call, Flapjack.
Okay.
That's exactly what it looks like. It looks like a big toe. Is he wrong?
No, he's not.
I didn't think so.
Dude, everybody they hired at the Panthers organization this offseason has a giant long head.
Why?
What have they done? Like,
Hey,
what have they done? I just now noticed that Dan Morgan, the guy they hired, giant long head.
Is it really?
I don't
Is this
understand what's
Is this how they
happening.
evaluate the talent? They're like, come in here, let's measure your head. They get a tape measure out.
They're like, if you don't wear
Mike
at
Burton
least a
to
size,
Jimmy Neutron.
you need a size 10 fitted hat or you're not getting in.
It's got to be some kind of requirement, right?
How is nobody making fun of this forehead on Twitter? Like, I found the actual, where the
And there's not one
Panthers-
comment. There's not one comment that says this dude's head is a
Not a
cartoon.
single ginormous cranium comment.
He's not even a real person, Mike. Every morning somebody wakes up and draws him and animates him. He's a cartoon. He's a real life cartoon. He's not real. No way with that freaking head.
I don't know. I just can't believe it. For the once in my life, Twitter and X has let me down.
How did no one jump on that? I mean, they couldn't miss it.
I mean, it's like a trampoline. Everybody should be jumping on it at this point. I give up
Good
with it.
grief.
I think we're done for the day, Steve. I'm telling you, I think we've gone delusional.
Yeah, it's our boy Steve-O in the house. What's up, Steve-O? He says, good night, boys. First quarter or first half score predictions for KC in the Super Bowl. That's a great question. So we haven't really got into predictions for this game yet. We kind of just been filling it out and just going over initial feelings and everything. I had to give out an impromptu score on a radio show the other day just because, and I said 35-27 Chiefs. They said that would be a hell of a Super Bowl if the score ends up that. But that was just me spitballing. Man, honestly, first quarter, I think the Chiefs have to put up at least a good 14 points in the first quarter. You got to come out strong, right?
Yeah. I don't.
I'd like to see 20 by halftime.
Yeah, it's tough.
Like,
I mean, I can see first quarter also. I could see like those games where everybody thinks it's going to be high scoring. It could come out and be like 3-0, 3-3, 7-7. Yeah. I'm still leading. I'm still in the ballpark of the Chiefs, 24-ish. 49ers like 19, 18, somewhere in that range. 18-21, somewhere in that range.
Ty says he can qualify for the next Coneheads movie with that Grande Cabeza.
Dude, actually, I just read on Wikipedia,
Grande.
the Coneheads movie is literally just a documentary about Brent Tillis's life. So, yeah, there it is.
Good grief, bro. We got a question from William here. He says, is Gabe Davis a good pick at wide receiver on the free agent market? I saw that he's a free agent this offseason. I personally don't care a lot for Gabe Davis. I feel like he had some flash games, like especially against the Chiefs in the AFC Championship, not the AFC Championship.
Steve, you're look,
13
I'm just going to simplify it for you. Steve doesn't want any wide receiver that's not a top tier playmaker. Like he's done with the middle of the road. Are they going to be good? Are they not? Is Richie James going to be good? Is he not? Can Mecole Hardman turn it on? Can he not? Can Justin Ross play or can he not? Like
low tier for me.
Just done with it. Yeah.
Yeah, bottom of the barrel for me is you go after Calvin Ridley or you go after Marquise Brown.
Yeah, I think those are the two. Those are the two least amount of talent I would take.
If you want to move up from them, I'll take a Michael Pittman. I'll take Michael Pittman. I'll take T. Higgins. I'll take Mike Evans if you can afford. If you can figure that out with the 25 people you got to sign back. If you can figure that out, fine. But I'm just so sick of the experiments, and I don't think Gabe Davis.
Yeah, if I'm going to experiment with wide receivers, let's go ahead and do it during the draft again.
Gabe Davis actually got heckled off the field after that loss to the Chiefs, and he wasn't even playing. Like, he's over there in street clothes, and they're yelling. Bill's Mafia was yelling at him on the sideline. I saw a video, and they were like talking about how he can't catch the ball. He drops everything. They were dogging him bad.
He had those problems at UCF. I really like. I don't know. We'll get into this. Like, as soon as this next look, I'm telling you, a lot of people are like, "Hey, when the Super Bowl's over, it's going to be boring. It's going to be, nothing." I'm looking forward to it.
We got a big time offseason coming up, guys.
The free agency and having talks like this with you guys.
I'm excited.
It's great. I don't know. Yeah, I'm ready for it.
Dude, it's funny because usually obviously I'm excited about being in the Super Bowl and we got to win this thing. I'm still fully focused on that. Have to win this. I feel like it could be the final little nail in the coffin of all the Chiefs haters. You can't talk trash no more about Mahomes. Just shut up. Like, literally, if you try to talk trash, which they still will, don't get me wrong, but they're just wrong at that point. Like, they have nothing to argue on. Like, it's over. Like, Mahomes can close so many doors with this one. So I'm really focused on that. But I am so pumped when I think about the offseason and the things that could happen this year and the draft, jumping into draft coverage. I'm genuinely excited about it this year, Mike. Like, usually I'm just kind of like, man, here comes a lot of work, having to watch all this tape and look at all these guys. I'm excited about it this year. Like, I feel good about it. And I'm looking forward to it, man. But first things first, we got to take care of business in Las Vegas.
Me too, man. We got to take care of business. It's 1 week away.
Right. Brenda, she says, why Ridley? So I think Calvin Ridley, he's not like a big receiver or anything like that. He runs mostly out of the slot. But Calvin Ridley plays bigger. Like Calvin Ridley is a guy that can take over a game. Like you've seen it a couple times in Jacksonville where he just goes off. Like, dude, he plays much bigger than he is. Extreme talent. I mean, he was an absolute beast with the Falcons before he got into trouble.
Steve, I honestly think we dropped the ball by not throwing out the Falcons a little bit of like maybe a 6th-round pick and got them back in the day.
Who said that when he was suspended? Who said that? I was like, why are we not going after this guy? Like,
it's kind of weird.
Now's the perfect time to do it.
You think maybe he just from the draft process? You think maybe Veach and them seen something in the draft process they didn't like, and they're just maybe not interested in Calvin Ridley?
I kind of doubt that. Like, if you watch how he plays, if you watch Calvin Ridley and you think about the Andy Reid offense, you should be like, drooling a little bit over this dude. Like, I feel like Calvin Ridley fit great in our offense, and I feel like that's why I like him, Brenda. And I feel like that's bottom tier for me, though. Like, I don't want any less than Calvin Ridley or Marquise Brown. If you go down a level to the other guys, it's not even that, Mike. It's just that, like you said it perfectly a minute ago for me. I'm just tired of the experiments. Like, give me somebody that's proven and that's going to do some work and it's going to be productive, or just drafted, I guess.
Right. Cobra Kai with a 2-bomb. He says, Steve, I'm ordering that hoodie, man. It's fire.
Heck Steve, yeah, baby.
Cobra Kai loves it. We also got a 5-bomb.
Nice. Go ahead.
Oh, 5-bomb from Mike Edwards.
This is Mike Edwards.
Yeah.
This is UK alum.
This is the safety, Mike Edwards. And he said, I've listened to you guys all season. Go Chiefs. It's not the safety, Mike Edwards.
Mike Edwards, if this is you, we've been watching you since your Kentucky days, brother. We're right here in Louisville, Kentucky.
Hey,
we've been watching you.
Here's what I'll say, Mike. I appreciate you being here all season and watching. I hope you continue to stick around in the off season and next season. We're just getting started. It's crazy. This is only our 2nd full season doing this.
Right, yeah.
But not even a 2nd full season. Like, this will be our 2nd full season after the off season. So this will just be our 2nd.
Yeah, we're not even at 2 years yet. We won't be able to 2 years till, well, we're coming up on it in the next month or two.
But yeah, and look, I apologize at times being a little negative throughout the year and at times being frustrated. But I try to tell people everything, like, we can't always come on here and do this from a total fan perspective, as in we have to just be, you know what I mean? Like, we have to just be positive Pete all the time. Like, we have to try to somewhat be objective, because some people get mad at us. They're like, you guys didn't pick the Chiefs to win last week or something. It's like, well, I can't always just, like, I feel like people get more value out of things when you're just not telling people what they want to hear. Like, if you want a Chiefs cheerleader channel, I'm sure it exists. Go find it. I don't know.
There's a slew of them.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
But we at least try to be somewhat objective. And yes, there are times when we're flat out wrong. And I'll say, hey, I said at the beginning of the year, not the beginning of the year, but at the, when was it? It was probably the playoff time. Somebody asked, how deep can you guys go in the playoffs? And I said, we'd be lucky to win a game, but you got to do some things right. And what did I say? I'd like to see some games where our receivers stop making mistakes and dropping the ball. I'd like to see Andy Reid get a little more consistent in the play calling, And these are all things we're seeing now. So congrats, we're winning. But sometimes we have to be subjective and objective. And I know some people just don't like that. They see it as negative and things, but we apologize for that. But I feel like that's more valuable.
I don't.
Don't you feel like it's more valuable, Steve, to have that rather than just, well, Chiefs lost today, but we're going to go win the Super Bowl? I don't want to keep blowing smoke in a way.
Whether I'm overreacting or wrong or right or however you take it, I'm still going to give you my full opinion, like I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm going to be completely honest and raw about it. So, I mean, that's just where we're at. I want to jump back to this hoodie thing, because I made this hoodie and I made it with the idea of, like, in mind, I was thinking like, almost NASCAR or like hockey jersey or like something that's just overdone and ridiculous, but cool. And, I didn't know if people would like it, but this is actually, Ty said that he's getting it. And I actually saw a couple comments earlier, people saying that hoodie was fire. So I'm glad you guys are liking it, by the way.
Yes.
And I appreciate the 2, Ty, and appreciate the 5, Mike Edwards, the Mike Edwards. Ball hawk Mike Edwards. Going to go win himself a Super Bowl ring, Mike Edwards.
Yeah, baby.
Let's go.
We got Jay. Jay says, have you heard of Devontae Walker from North Carolina? Yes, Des Walker. I've actually watched a little bit of film on him. From what I know, he's got good size. From what I've seen, he can look like the most dominant guy on the field. But what I've also seen, he's very raw. He's very raw. If we thought Rashee Rice was raw, he's just as raw as he is, maybe more raw. So
some talent there, though, for sure.
But there's a lot of talent there,
also,
and I cannot wait to jump into more.
You can't always go off of school, but North Carolina scares me a bit.
Right.
Mike, I was getting ready to pull this one up. Bob Berger, he says, "How do you feel about Xavier Leggett?" Man, Mike's been on him already. So yeah, I can't wait to dig in on tape on these guys and really give you like a true opinion, like a real opinion about it. Because I watch college football in passing. I'm not a big college football fan. I do watch it, but it's like selectively. And
Leggett looked good this past week at the East-West game, but he did get injured and he couldn't play in the game. So we got to watch that. Yeah. We got to watch that too.
Yeah, for sure. KY in the house. What's up, KY? I ain't seen any smart comments from you today. It makes me sad. You gotta say something mean to Mike. But she says Ravens score on them, and how many did 49ers score? I don't know if you were talking to somebody in the chat or not. But if you're talking about the Ravens and 49ers game, the Ravens just beat them to death. Like, it was not a close game.
Yes.
Absolutely dominated them.
Steve
I'd love to see something
when
similar.
Is the Super Bowl Madden simulation? I think we might have to do it.
We might have to pull it out this week, man. I'm with Karth. I think we do that. It'll be fun.
What day should we do the Madden simulation on?
I don't know. We have a members only live stream coming up this week. We'll also dedicate a day to the Madden simulation. We'll have some fun stuff this week.
Get your, make sure you're joined. Be here for the live stream. We're going to give some stuff away.
Membership.
We've already got some hats. We've got some T-shirts that we're giving away. We've got some stuff we're going to give away. I don't know what all we're going to give away, but we got a few things.
Mike, somebody obviously called the Chiefs D overrated in here. Tommy's letting them have it with good reason. If you think the Chiefs defense is overrated at this point in the season, you don't know ball. You don't know ball.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen nothing about.
I don't know.
Somebody said it might just be a 49ers. Oh, here it is. Ahmad. Chiefs D overrated. The Ravens gave up on the run too soon. The Niners won't do that. It's got to be a 49ers fan. But he is right. The Ravens did give up on the run too soon. As a matter of fact, the Ravens did not even come in with a game plan to run the ball, in my opinion. And that's why I said John Hardballs probably should take a little bit of heat for that loss. I feel like it was a bad game plan by the Ravens. I really do. But at the same time, maybe they knew that that's what we were going to do, and they were going to let Lamar beat you. They were like, look, if Lamar's that good, let's let him go beat him. But, yeah. So even trolls can be somewhat right?
Right. Cobra Kai says, Steve, can you show the hoodie again? Yes, I can. I'll do that right now. Also, Mean Street says, does it come with an extra large hood? Yeah, so Brant can wear it. Tillis needs to be able to fit in this hood. I mean, what good would it be if Brant Tillis can't rock it? Let me share my screen again. Ty, get him off there. Get him away. Here we go. Here it is.
See this.
So it's all over print hoodie. Super high quality polyester hoodie. It's all over print, everything. It is kind of expensive. It's $69.99, but that is literally the closest I could get it to where we even made a couple dollars of profit. Because they're very expensive to make with all over print. But use that code SB58, 15% off. So definitely do that. That's the front, by the way. The sleeves has the Grim Reaper logo that we made. It also has all Chiefed Up logos on both arms. The hood, the sides of the hood, one side has the Grim Reaper logo, one side has something else. I don't even remember. The inside of the hood has mine and Mike's face. Like, it's just over the top. Here's the back, by the way. So yeah, if you guys like that, go grab one. It looks like, is there a red one? There's a red one too. Check that out.
Well, I like the red one better.
Do you? I'm a black fan. I think the black one's cool.
Yeah, but I think
the red one's nice too, though. Yeah,
I think
it toned it down a bit.
Yeah, I think that all the logo and stuff looks better on the red than the black. The black made it look a little too like non-flowing in a way.
I don't know. I don't know
what I mean by that, but it pleases the eye to see it on red for some reason.
Personally, like the black one, but I do like I think the red tones it down a little bit if you think it's over the top.
By the way, if you use the code, there's $69.99. The code will give you $10.50 off that hoodie, so that hoodie will now only be $59.
Which basically, I'm telling you guys, this is God honest truth. If
Yeah,
you use
we'll
that
make
code,
$5 off
if
of
you
it
use
probably.
not even that, if you use that code, it comes straight from profit.
Yeah,
So
the code
use the
actually comes
code.
off our
By
end.
all means, use the code. I'm not telling you not to use the code because
Right.
that's why I put it up there. I want you guys to enjoy it this week. But if you use the code, basically, it's a wash. But that's a good way to get this.
Yeah, we're not
Because
worried
I
about
mean,
it,
for
man.
us, we just want you guys to have cool merchandise, and also, I mean, you're helping us get the word out about the podcast too. So I mean, that's where we're at with it. But yeah, if you guys like that, go grab you one. Use that code. Make sure you get it this week. That way, you can use that 15% off code.
But I will say, it's probably not going to be in by the Super Bowl. I don't see them printing that and getting it to you within 5-6 days. So that kind of sucks. I wish we'd have got that up about 3 weeks ago. What can I say, man? We're busy.
Look, man, yes, I've been working a lot this week. Let me tell you guys, like between work and all chiefed up, I've been nonstop from morning to night. Like I'm getting pretty tired. I ain't gonna lie. Yesterday I took the time to I made 5 different shirt designs yesterday. Worked yesterday. Like it's just been real busy. But I was like, man, we got another week left of this season. Let's hit it hard and do what we got to do. So, yeah, appreciate you guys.
The code is SB58.
Yeah, that's a promo code, SB58. If you go to the store, merch.allchiefup.com, it should actually put like a little banner at the top letting you know that there's a 15% off sale going on.
We made it to where the banner will show and tell you what that is. Like we're not trying to hide it from you by any means.
Right, for sure. I made it to where if you go to the store, it's going to tell you that there's a sale going on. That way, if you don't
you
catch
can use that on anything too, not just the hoodie. That's available for everything on the store.
Yeah, I got some cool stuff, man. I got some cool stuff in the store. I would like to be able to order myself some of the stuff. I might have to get me something. I haven't bought any of our merchandise. I've got like one T-shirt,
right,
and that's about the extent of it.
Pops gets a lot of our stuff and rocks it. Pops actually gave one of our hats to somebody from one of those shows where they do like drag racing.
Yeah.
He likes one of those drag racing shows, and apparently there was some girl that's a Chiefs fan. He give it to her, so she rocks our stuff now. But it's pretty tight.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. I guess that's gonna put a bow on it for the night, Mike. What you got left? Oh no! Put the head in Arrowhead. Bring it back up.
Should we bring this back up for just a few minutes?
Just look at him one more time. Good Lord,
dude!
bro.
Look at that thing.
Wouldn't you like to just smack it? Like maybe not like an over the top smack, but just like a good little, like a solid one though, like a solid smack, just right to the forehead, right to the dome.
It's just crazy. Dome piece.
It just makes no sense to me.
What size hat do you think he wears? Large, Lizzo. Extra large?
Size Lizzo in the hat.
Planetarium? What do you have? You realize if he took a selfie, hey, if he took a selfie, this dude's got to put it on panorama mode just to get that forehead in.
The good Lord glitched out a little bit when he was making Brand's head. Okay, the internet stalled on him or something.
Dude, this guy, he may have been somebody seen that forehead and they got the idea to create the IMAX theater off of it. Like, what's up?
Why the long face? You could, hey, that would be ideal. Could you imagine projecting the Super Bowl off of Brand's forehead? That's the ultimate watching experience.
Should we do it? Dude, I'm going to take this dude's head, and in the middle of his head, I'm going to do highlights to the game. I'm going to do the Super Bowl highlights in his forehead on a short.
Tommy Sparks says he could wear a Pope hat. He wears the same size the Pope does.
You know what the game he played in school that he was best at?
What's that?
Heads Up 7-Up. He
sucked at dodgeball,
bro. He sucked at dodgeball. He probably got smacked a few times.
Get it off the screen. Get that Grande Cabeza. Get that Cabeza Grande off the screen, brother.
Cabeza Grande.
Cranium. We got a 5-bomb from Ty. Says it's okay on the wait to get it in. Love the black, and we'll enjoy the advertising with it, guys. Yeah, dude, I like the black one. The black one made me think when I made it. I do like. I see what you're saying with the red, Mike. But when I made it, I really wanted it to be extreme. I was thinking like, you ever seen them like NASCAR jackets, or I've seen some hockey jerseys that are not necessarily actual jerseys that just have like a lot going on, like really busy. That was the inspiration there. But the back is awesome. He says, love it. Appreciate that, Ty. Mike, are you still laughing at Brant?
Dude, I can't get over that big head, man. Somebody said the dude meditated. He created a new galaxy. What?
There might be a couple moons in orbit around that bad boy.
I can't do it. Do you think they filmed the moon landing on that forehead? I just can't do it.
James says that hoodie might arrive right in time for the Super Bowl parade.
It's possible.
Let's go.
It's possible.
Man, they got to get the job done, Mike. There has to be another parade. They got to get it done.
Right.
Do you think maybe Jawan Taylor borrowed his helmet?
Yeah, maybe.
He had a custom helmet fitted to put on his desk, and Jawan Taylor got it mixed up with his, so he just kept being offside. Or maybe D Ford had it on that one time.
Dude, I just don't know. I'm glad. I'm not glad he's gone, but now that because I didn't really.
Let's just hope that Mega Mind wasn't like what was behind all the good juju.
Now
right?
I'm a little scared. Like
maybe
we may
he
have
was the
made
genius
fun
behind all of
the
it.
Genius.
Maybe he was. You know what? He deserves what he gets for leaving the Chiefs and going to the Panthers.
Who does that?
I understand trying to progress. You know, we had this conversation at work today. We were talking about guys leaving and how many jobs there are in an organization that you don't really think about. Like Brett Veach has a staff. Like person does this, person does that, person does this. There's so many jobs involved. And if you think about it, most of those people are like, you know, people in management positions and things like that. It's a job to them. Like every one of those people cannot be invested in the Chiefs. So like, you know what I'm saying? Like, is that just another job to them? Like, hey, I'm going to get a raise if I go here, guys. I'm going to move. I'm going to go get a raise. Like, do you think, like, how much do you think guys actually get invested into the team they're working for when they're in that type of position to where they're not really hands-on with the team? They're not really big football people.
It's across the board, man. We know for a fact there's people that cover the Chiefs that aren't Chiefs fans. There's journalists that cover the Chiefs that didn't grow up Chiefs fans. They're not Chiefs fans.
You got to think right now.
It's right jobs now,
whether
people.
Whether it's a YouTube channel, whether it's you know, anything covering the Chiefs, right now is a hot time to do that, right? Like the Chiefs are popular, Chiefs are huge, they're winning. Now it's your time to cash in. And I think some people have done that. But I mean, it is what it is. You're going to see a lot of that, right?
Right. You'll see it. You'll continue to see it. But yeah, man, appreciate you guys being here. Hit that like button for us. Hit that subscribe button. We're still trying to get to 25K. Let me see how many likes we got. We're at, we got to be getting close to like that 150 mark, right? We're at 180. We crushed 150.
180.
Let's get to 200. Hit like on the way out if you don't care. Hit that sub button if you haven't already. We're 1 week away. We're going to continue pumping out the content. Probably lives seem to be a little easier for us to do right now because our schedules aren't lining up. So it's easier to sit down and get an hour together than to be able to record, edit, and do all that stuff. So we may do more lives this week. We'll try to do a sim for you. We're going to try to do the members only chat this week. So we got a lot of stuff coming up. And then, of course, any kind of big news, we're going to talk about it. We're going to discuss it. And we'll keep our eyes glued and our ears glued and our forehead glued to everything we can find this week. And yeah, man, we got one more week. Enjoy the ride. Enjoy the ride. You know, everybody always says that, Steve. Part of the fun is the process, right? Because when it happens, we're going to win the Super Bowl. We're going to be pumped. But the process and the enjoyment leading up to is what we're going to remember. We're going to remember these stupid times.
Right. Absolutely, man. And like I said, the way this season played out, like if they win this one, if they finish the job, this one's going to taste a little sweeter.
Oh, yeah.
It really is. Like the sweet nectar of this Lombardi would be far superior to the last two.
I want it because I want Mahomes to be able to shut people up. Because to me, it's irritating that Mahomes, Kelsey, Andy Reid, all these guys put in all this effort. Even Chris Jones and just all these guys, they work hard. And the national media and everybody refuses to give them any props. And to me, it's just not fair. Because if this was Brady or whoever else, they'd be, you know, gushing over them. And it's annoying that they're not.
Absolutely, man. It's time for everybody to get their flowers. I think that Andy Reid is potentially the best coach to ever do it. It's crazy how many people that are coaches in the NFL now that come from that Andy Reid tree. It's like he changed football.
Right.
Andy Reid literally put his stamp on the game. Like he changed things, and he don't get enough respect. Patrick Mahomes ain't getting enough respect. He's changed the game. Like these are like pivotal people in the sport of football, and we're watching. Guys, we talk about everybody wants to see history. Everybody wants to see history. We're watching it. We're literally watching it. Right before our eyes, and it's weird that people cheer against it. It's strange.
It is strange. But speaking of the Andy Reid tree, Steve, if this guy was in it and he fell out, he'd hit his head on every branch, bro.
Every branch on the way down. There's no way around it. But he would have a safe landing spot right on his daggone forehead, bro.
Right on that forehead.
Yeah, Tommy, we appreciate you, man. Thanks for the good times. You guys make this fun. Hanging out with everybody, talking with everybody, interacting with everybody. That's why we started doing this channel to begin with. Me and Mike talked about Chiefs football every day of our lives. And the only other person we really talked about it with was our pops. And we were like, you know what? Let's start a podcast and see if we can talk, get more people involved and just have a good community. Mission accomplished, because you guys are freaking amazing. So appreciate you guys. And we got a 5-bomb from Cobra Kai Ty. Taylor Swift at the parade will be nuts. There will be Swifties, Chiefs fans this year. Place will be super packed. It was super packed last year.
I'm going to be kind of bummed about it if we win, because like I said, I'll still be in Florida, and I don't think I'll get to go to the parade this year, which kind of makes me a little sad. Steve, if I have to go by myself,
if I have to go by myself.
Yeah, I hate the fact that I might miss it, but this will be the only parade I have missed. I was even there for the one they had for the first Super Bowl.
Are we going to have to start another poll of why Mike should have never booked?
Don't do it. Well, it's not that. I had to book this because this was the time, the people we were going to visit in Florida, this was the time that worked well for them.
You know why? Because they're Steelers fans. Of course it worked fine.
That's true. That's true. They knew it wasn't going to happen. They're maybe sabotaging me. But, yeah, man, it's going to be fun. Just everybody enjoy it. Have a good one. And we're going to be here all week long trying to get you through it. And hopefully we'll keep talking about that guy's forehead. I mean, why wouldn't we?
Not. Appreciate the 5, Ty, by the way. Thanks for all the support tonight, all you guys that donated and everything like that. We truly appreciate you guys. So props to you guys. And go Chiefs. Enjoy this week. Let's have a fun time. We're going to pump out as much content as we can. So please come back and join us. And I guess that's going to wrap it up for the night, Mike. You got anything else besides 25 head there?
I don't, but I do have this. I
kind of want to leave before Mike does it again, because I feel like it's coming.
I'm not going to do it. This is what I'm going to give you. Oh,
I feel like this is the face everyone makes when they see that dude's head.
Yeah, look at that big head, baby. I hope McKinnon gets back for the Super Bowl. I really do. I'd like to see him on the sideline in a helmet and in pads and being contributing, because I think Jerick McKinnon's a fun dude. Like he cracks.
And he brings good juju to the team. He brings energy to the team. We'll take all we can get, baby.
Maybe he can bring the actual Juju Smith-Schuster to the game. We could use that guy. I'll take him.
No, but for real, I do hope McKinnon gets back.
Cheers, everyone.
But yeah, you guys have a good night. Appreciate you guys hanging out, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace out. Aside from my soul.